Welcome to Distressed to Joyful, Bailey's Way. I'm your host, Bailey Raber, here to enlighten you and the rest of the world about one of the most misunderstood mental disorders out there, bipolar disorder. Each week, we're going to learn more about my personal journey with the disorder while leaving you enriched with new information on how you can help better yourself as well as those around you. Hello, friends. Boy, do I have some splaining to do. Oh, okay. First of all, my voice is different. I know you noticed. I know you can tell the difference. I can tell the difference. You can tell the difference. I don't know what's going on. The last 2 weeks, it's been like this. And I've done a lot of different things like gargle salt water, like hot salt water. That was awful. Oh, that was awful. I did that a couple times a day for a couple days. Nothing's changed. I drink hot tea at nighttime to soothe my throat. Nothing's changed. I don't know what's going on. And that's only part of the reason why I put off recording and releasing a new episode. So, first of all, apologies. Super apologies, because the last episode I released was at the beginning of this month. Now we're towards the end. I promised I would have something about the holidays out, which I'm going to tell you right now is not going to occur, if you've probably already guessed. So, my sincere apologies for not delivering the content I said I was going to. Now, here's the fun part, getting to explain why it did not go as planned. So, first of all, guys, this episode, by the way, is not going to have any show notes. And that's mainly because I'm just speaking from the heart here. I'm just speaking from the heart, no facts, no nothing, just telling it how it is. The holidays are very, very triggering for me. Very triggering. I did not have happy holidays as a child. And as a lot of people are aware, childhood memories, especially not good ones, tend to stick with us as adults, and they can sometimes haunt us in the present. While this is something that I am, working on, unfortunately, I still have not gotten past that. I have not broken through the whole triggering that the holidays has always done for me and how it makes me feel. So, let me kind of explain a little background of that and then tell you what happened this year. If you haven't already, though, by the way, I wrote a little blog post on my website, whatisheybellsdoing.wordpress.com, where I talked about what I'm talking about now, but just a lot more brevity, I guess that you should say. The title of the post is called Call Me Mrs. Scrooge. Because you guessed it, I'm not a fan of the holidays. So I grew up in a home where encouragement was hard to come by. There was a lot of fighting, a lot of secrets, and a lot of negativity. When the holidays came around every year, honestly, I would much rather be anywhere than being forced to spend an entire day with my family doing all the things that they want to do. That is the sad truth of it all, and I'm not sorry. That's how I feel. And growing up with my birthday also being on Christmas, it kind of made matters a lot worse. All of my memories of Christmas, for the most part, were not happy. I mean, let me just kind of give you a run through of what we did every single year. And it was literally the exact same every single year. So we wake up Christmas morning, we open presents and stockings, and the older we got, the more that part diminished. You would have the cinnamon rolls that my mom would bake every single year in the morning for breakfast. And then she would start preparing Christmas lunch. When we were kids, we would just play with toys during that point. But as we got older, we would kind of assist and help her with all of that. We would all have Christmas lunch together, which was usually pretty awkward because my family was not a family that ate meals together. I honestly do not remember having many meals with my family that were not centered around a special occasion like Christmas, Thanksgiving, or somebody's birthday. Like, those are really the only times we actually got together and had meals as a family. Or if my, cousins were in town, and then we'd all have everybody together in the house eating together. But again, that was a rarity too, because all my cousins, all three of them, live out of state. So yeah, that made for a usually pretty awkward meal every year because no one was really sure what to talk about. And also, you had to choose your words carefully because there were certain things that we should not talk about for whatever reason. And if those certain things were brought up, that's when arguments and fighting and God knows only what else would ensue. Somebody would be in trouble. I remember 90% of the time it was always me, or at least it felt like that. I could be exaggerating because, it's from my point of view, but I just remember lots of tears on Christmas every year, usually around the lunchtime portion. And then after Christmas lunch, we would kind of settle down. We would have my birthday cake, which I do appreciate how my mom always did try to separate my birthday as much as she could. I do really applaud her for that. And then also, I would open any birthday gifts. She would always try to get the family to, separate my Christmas and my birthday and to wrap my birthday presents in birthday paper or anything non Christmas related for the most part. So I do appreciate that. But I mean, cake, couple birthday presents, and then we'd be done with the day. And my parents would go take a nap, and it would just be us kids just hanging out. It's usually how it went every year, consistently. And besides the fighting, which was just as consistent as all of these traditions that were done every single year, it doesn't seem that bad, right? But I think the worst part about it, and it got increasingly worse the older I got, was not just the fighting, because I mean, nobody likes fighting, nobody likes crying, especially on your birthday, and Christmas combined. Like, who wants to be in sad tears? Not happy tears, mind you. These weren't happy tears. These were sad, upset tears every fucking year on Christmas / my birthday. This was a continuous thing. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. And also, I think that one of the really hard things was seeing how happy other people were spending time with their families, seeing the joy in people's eyes when they got to spend time with their parents and their siblings and actually enjoy it and have a great time. And there would be no fighting and no fits and upsets and all the stuff. And the birth of social media, right when I hit high school, really made all of that worse because social media is a lie. It's a friggin' lie. Most of y'all know that social media, most of the time, not most of the time, situationally, it's a lie. I mean, people put on shows and they put on happy faces when they're not actually happy. And in high school, when social media first came out, I didn't know better. Nobody knew. We all just were doing it and, whatever. And that's kind of how that happened, except my perspective was, wow, look at all these beautiful, happy families. And then turning and seeing the chaos in mine, it sucked. It really, really sucked. When all you wanted was just to feel loved and accepted on your birthday / the biggest holiday of the year, and you didn't receive that one thing that you really wanted and you really needed, that sucks. That really sucks. And unfortunately, the holidays just got worse as I got older. Imagine that, moving out of my parents' house and the holidays still sucked. But I kind of always had this nagging obligation to go spend time with him, even though I didn't want to, even though I didn't enjoy it, even though on my 25th birthday, which was the absolute worst birthday of my entire life, I left Christmas early, drove back to Houston in tears in my car, sobbing tears. I will never forget that because 2 years ago, that birthday was when I decided I will never put myself through that again. I will never give in to the obligations that are thrown at me to spend time with people who don't pump in the encouragement and the joy and the love that I crave, that I need from other people. Never again. Whew, that was a lot. Well, the importance of this, guys, though, is that I hope that hearing how shitty Christmas has always been for me, will help anyone else who's struggled with not feeling happy around the holidays like me know that you're not alone. That while everybody is so busy posting all these happy photos with their happy families, that you don't know if they're actually happy with their families. You don't know that they're actually having a good time and that they're not just putting on a show for the camera. Hell, they could be more miserable than you are, assuming you're miserable. I mean, because I'm not going to lie, I was pretty miserable for some of these Christmases. I mean, my 25th was the icing on the cake. And that was enough to never put myself through that again. But guys, I want to encourage you to instead choose to spend time with the people who deserve to be in your presence for the holidays. And that was kind of a play on words because holidays, there are presents and they're going to be in your presence. That was a really lame joke. I hope at least one person laughed. But in all seriousness, though, spend time with your chosen family. And for those of you who've never heard of that term before, your chosen family are the people that you choose to spend time with. They're usually your friends, the people that you see on a regular basis, the people that you call with all of the good news and the bad news, the people who stand by you through thick and thin. Because while some people say that family is the most important thing, it's not when the love and encouragement and care that you need from them is missing. And as a reminder, your mental health is more important than what somebody else wants you to do. One more time, your mental health is so much more important than anybody else's agenda that they made for you. The holidays are about happiness. So do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy, damn it. I feel like that is so much easier said than done. I know it's so much easier said than done. So much easier said than done. Last year for 2019, I spent my first Christmas not with my family. I had left on a trip to Colorado to see an old friend of mine. I think it was like 3 days before Christmas is when I left. Something like that. I don't know. I mean, yeah, close enough. A couple days before Christmas, I hopped on a plane, flew out to Colorado for the first time in my life, visiting that state. I saw real snow for the first time in my life. That was cool because South Texas snow is not real snow. So seeing mountains and getting to go on a mountain and playing some real ass snow was really, really cool. Number one. But after having this really cool trip, little getaway, I came back and flew back into Houston early Christmas morning, like 6 a.m. early Christmas morning. And when I arrived in the airport, one of my best friends, Jessica, and her mom came to pick me up because I'm going to tear up. I'm already tearing up. Jessica did not want me to spend Christmas alone because that was kind of my plan because my family decided that it was too much of a hassle to drive up to Houston and pick me up. and spend the day in Houston. So I was going to Uber home and spend the day alone. I really was. And instead, Jessica told me that she was not going to allow that. And her and her mom picked me up from the airport. And they had birthday balloons in the car, which was so super sweet. And we went by their house. God, there's tears. And now my voice sounds even worse. God damn it. It already does. Bear with me, y'all. We'll get through this together. So we went back to her house. They had a couple gifts for me, and oh, it was just so sweet. They had a birthday gift and a Christmas gift, and it was just the sweetest thing and totally unexpected because I told her not to get me anything. And then I went with her family up about an hour outside of Houston to go have Christmas lunch with her extended family. And oh my God, not only was that just so much fun, just sitting around with a bunch of people, just hanging out, talking, and just having a great time. Everybody sang happy birthday to me. And I honestly didn't even really know everybody in the room. Some of them I had just met, a couple of them I had known in the past, but we lit a little candle because they didn't have birthday candles. So we lit like a little candle in a jar, y'all, and they sang me happy birthday. And it was really sweet. And I got home that night and I realized that that was the best birthday that I had ever had. And that was the first Christmas I had had where I didn't end up in tears. And that hit me hard. And then of course, it brought on tears because it brought on happy tears, knowing like, wow, I have such amazing people in my life who would go out of their way to make me feel special. And really, it didn't cost them much. It was picking me up from the airport, two small little gifts, a couple balloons, and a fucking candle in a jar that was lit, and everybody singing happy birthday with cupcakes because there was no birthday cake. It was cupcakes. Like, that's all it took, guys, because material things, they don't matter. How much money is spent doesn't matter. It's the people you with and how they make you feel. So now we've got some of that backstory out. Let's talk about what happened this year. This year, my boyfriend and I, who, by the way, if you haven't heard any previous episodes or seen any photos on the Instagram, my boyfriend grew up in India and he's been living in America for the past 3.5 years. And he grew up Hindu. So he's never celebrated American Christmas. He's never celebrated Christmas at all, not even Indian Christmas, because there's Indian Christmas, which was shocking to me, little, small town girl. I grew up in a small town and I did not know that people were Christian and celebrated Christmas in India. Mind blown and also embarrassing. Anyways, so he'd never celebrated Christmas before. And I told him, I was like, I don't want to celebrate Christmas this year. I want Christmas Day to be my birthday, and that is it. So we've been planning just to do my birthday for months and months and months. And back in November, we booked a small cottage for two in the middle of BFE out in East Texas on a lake. And it was a beautiful little spot. But here's what happened the weeks leading up to Christmas. Again, my friend Jessica, who I mentioned earlier, she kind of helped me articulate this like right before it happened. And it made perfect sense when she said this. But like 2 to 3 weeks before Christmas, which is literally when I was planning to record and release an episode for y'all, I started having insane anxiety. Like so much anxiety, I was sitting there shaking. I almost felt paralyzed. I was in the bathtub, just sobbing and shaking and freaking out one night because I just had so much anxiety. It was the strangest thing. I never felt that level of anxiety in my entire life. And then depression hit. And then I was just constantly freaked out and worried. And then when I sat down and talked with Jessica about it, we came to this conclusion. This was the first year that I decided to do absolutely nothing Christmas related on Christmas. I am breaking free 100% of all the things I have always done in the past, which is celebrate Christmas on Christmas. And in the words of Jessica, she said this so beautifully that even though I was excited to not have to do anything Christmas related and to get to make my own agenda on my own birthday, it was so different than anything I'd done in the past that my body was rejecting it. Like, whoa, what are you doing? This is not what's supposed to be done. This is not how we've always done it. No, hold up, stop. That's literally what my body was doing. It was reacting in that way. And at the same time, too, Jessica and we both had this discussion that our birthdays were normally spent doing what other people wanted to do. And another part of this was that my birthday was usually spent doing what other people wanted to do. It was always my mom's agenda, and she was always the one driving it. And she picked what time we ate the same Christmas dinner every fucking year. And we actually ate it at 2 in the afternoon. And she picked this and she picked that. So every single year, my birthday, which, typically birthdays are all about the person whose day it is who was born that day. My birthday has always been subject to somebody else's agenda until this year, until 2020, when it was all in my pretty little hands. While I was excited, subconsciously, my body was freaking out again. It was like, whoa, you're getting to choose. This is not normal. You don't usually do this. It's always about somebody else. It's not about you, even though a birthday's supposed to be about me. I hope you were able to kind of follow that. I know I'm just speaking from the heart. So, like, lots of words are just spewing out, kind of like word vomit. I hope you got that reference, by the way. But all of that being said, guys, for 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, actually, before Christmas this year, anxiety and depression in a big old clusterfuck jumbled up together and caused me to not be able to complete the things that I was going to do by the deadline that I had created. So, once again, I apologize for not getting the episode out sooner. I hope that you'll accept the apology, but I really also hope that kind of hearing this, you don't kind of hear this, that while hearing this, you have brought a little bit of light to yourself and increased your own self awareness. Maybe next year you'll start to pay attention to how you feel and react a little bit more. Because, man, I know next year I'm going to be a lot more conscious about the things that I'm doing. But also, though, I really hope that this message is going to inspire you to take your own life into your own hands. If you are over the age of 18, you've graduated high school, and especially if you are no longer living under your parents' roof, then you do you, boo. You go out there and you do whatever it is that makes you happy. And celebrate Halloween on Christmas like Blink 182 if you feel like it. Damn it. Do what you want to do. I did. And God, I had the best non-Christmas of my entire life. And I'm so excited to have many, many more in the future. And I want that for you. I want you to find what makes you happy and the people that make you happy and do those things with those people and enjoy your life to the fullest. Because you are in charge of your life and you deserve to be happy. All right, well, that is a wrap for season 1, 2020. Thank you for listening and tuning in to the episodes. I appreciate all y'all so, so much. So, so, so much. If you would, do your girl a favor and write a review on Apple Podcasts. I would really appreciate it because, well, one, I really love to hear what all y'all have to say because y'all have said some really beautiful things. But also it helps other people see why they should join the party because we need more friends, y'all. We need more friends. We always need more friends. All right, that's enough. So until next time, take it easy, stay grateful, and be joyful. Bye.